Okay, so in our yesterday session, we were discuss about the curriculum and then what is the firewall. I mean, introduction to the firewall and why we need a firewall to protect our organization. What are the functions it will do, and then as of professionals, what is the benefit we are going to get? Why we need to learn a firewall product, and what is the benefit by learning a multi-vendor product that and all we were we were discussing the yesterday session, right? So uh, today we are going this batch is going to start with Palo Alto first, right? So I'm going to plan to give you the demo session in a Palo Alto. Okay, and especially in Palo Alto, if you are getting a fresh Palo Alto firewall, so how to access the console very first time, what are the things we have to consider, and we are also going to I'm going to give you the quick walkthrough about Palo Alto CLI console and and Palo Alto GUI console as well. Okay, so for this lab, we are going to use Palo Alto VM50 model. So in this lab, we are doing it through virtually by the help of tool called Peanut Lab. Okay, so if you guys are not, if you guys are aware about this tool, that's fine. So if you're familiar with that, that's fine. If suppose if you're not aware about this tool and how to access this console, everything, I'll teach you in the live session. So you no need to worry about it. Okay, so this session is going to show you how our training program is going to be conducted, so that for that purpose only we are conducting this session, right? So if you're not in this 1 hour, right, so I'm you guys are going to have a knowledge. If you're getting a fresh Palo Alto firewall, how to access the console very first time through CLI and GUI, what are all the default configuration is there inside the Palo Alto, and what is that and all we are going you guys are going to have a knowledge today. And about this tool and that and all, you no need to worry about you no need to worry. I'll take care of it in the live session. So I will teach you each and everything from the scratch, like what is this tool, how to install this tool in from your laptop or desktop, and how to access this tool, and how to upload the image file here which I'm using right now in this lab, like Windows machine I have uploaded, Windows server I have, and then web server I have, and then Palo Alto I have in this tool itself, right? So how to upload these tools and how to draw the topology, right? How to access these tools to real internet from this tool, how to access the real internet. So we are exactly simulating the real network. Okay, here everything it's a it's everything, and all this network setup can reach the real internet. They can access the real application and services. So we are going to do exactly in an organization how they implement, right? So everything we will do it in this tool itself, so you no need to worry about it. Okay, clear? So the necessary tools and softwares I'll give you, and I'll teach you how to do that. So fine, guys. So without any delay, I just want to go into the day 2 of our demo session. So in day 2, if you get a fresh Palo Alto firewall, okay, so how to access that as an administrator, right? So how to handle your Palo Alto firewall before deploy your Palo Alto firewall into the live production network. What are the things we have to consider? That and that we are going to discuss, and we are going to do lab, guys. Okay. So I'm, as I mentioned, I'm using a Palo Alto VM50 model here. So I already switched on this VM. Okay. So now this VM, it's directly this VM, I have a management port. This management port is directly connected with my physical PC. So which I'm using right now for a teaching purpose, right? So this PC itself, it is directly connected, and by the help of this tool. So it's actually it's in a manage. So this Windows image is there, right? So this Windows is nothing. My base device operating system, the hardware which I'm using right now for teaching purpose, right? So that hardware. So this is not virtual device like this. It is directly connected with my physical device. Okay, so which is my base device, which is running with the Windows 11 operating system. Okay, so from that device only I am teaching right now. Okay, so how to connect and all, I'll tell you, no worries. Okay, so my Palo Alto firewall management interface, I'll directly connect it with my physical PC, which means right now that physical PC is a management PC for my Palo Alto firewall. And my Palo Alto firewall management interface and my physical PCs are directly connected. So that is going to be my management network, guys. Okay. So from this management network only, I'm going as an administrator, I'm going to access my Palo Alto firewall. Okay. So before access the Palo Alto firewall, so Palo Alto firewall product available in the two platforms. Okay. So Palo Alto firewall product available in the two platforms. One is hardware platform. Okay. Another one is VM based. Okay. So here we are using a VM based, and in a real time scenario, you might have opportunity to work with a physical hardware. Okay. So physical hardware, we have a different kind of series of hardware like PA 200 series firewall, PA 400 series firewall, PA 500 series firewall, PA 800 series firewall. PA PA means Palo Alto firewall, guys. Okay, so we have a 3000 series. We have a 4000 series. Okay, under 3000 we have a 3050 series, 3400 series kind of things, different kind of series we have, and then PA 5000 series we have, and PA 7000 series we have. So this is the very high end model where the data center and the ISP kind of network they were used. Okay, and this is the very entry level model. Okay, so which is going to be soon, which is not going to be available in the market. So hereafter the entry level model is the Palo Alto 400 series. Okay, so that and all, each and every model, each and every data set specifications, everything we will discuss in the live session. So we have a dedicated session for that. Okay, we are going when we are going to talk about the architecture of the Palo Alto. So that time we are going to l- deeply learn about the each and every module, Palo Alto hardware based model and Palo Alto VM based model. Data sheets we are going to, I'm going to show you the data sheets and we are going to read this. We are going to know about the specification of each and every model. Okay, so what is the storage level? What is the hardware specification? What is the output they can able to provide? What is the inspection throughput they can able to provide? Everything we will Okay, we will discuss in the live session, guys. That is a separate session that will go around one dedicatedly, that will go around 1 hour. So by using that session only, you guys are going to come to know that how to, during that session, you guys will come to know that how to choose a Palo Alto firewall based on the your organization requirement, which model we have to choose, what are the aspect we have to follow while choosing the specific model, I mean while choosing a Palo Alto firewall, which model to consider the model, right? So higher end or middle order or lower end, so based on your need you are going to uh, select that model, but it is totally depends on the user client, I mean client's requirement. So based on their network structure, network size, data flow, and based on the future project, right? So that and all we have to consider, so that we will learn in that dedicated session, guys. So you no need to worry about it. Okay, just leave it right now. And VM model, VM likewise in a VM based virtual machine based firewall we have, and there we have a VM50, VM100, VM500, VM1000, VM700, like that different kind of modules we have. So that and all we'll discuss on that particular session, guys. Okay, so now the scenario of today's session is we are getting a fresh Palo Alto firewall. How to access the console? That might be a hardware, that might be a VM based firewall. So I'm going to show you the hardware now. One hardware, I mean entry level hardware, which is PA 200 hardware panel front end, how it will look like, and as well as PA 3400 series firewall front and back panel. I'm going to show you how it will look like. Okay, so I told you, as I shown you in this image, we have a dedicated management interface in Palo Alto Firewall. So the same hardware, if you go to the hardware, so let me go to the small entry level device. Okay, so the hardware have a dedicated management port. This is the management Ethernet management port, which is already pre-configured with the to support the CLI console and GUI console by accepting the administrative services. To CLI console, we can access through which protocol, guys? SSH with a secure CLI access, and Telnet with a plain text communication. GUI, we can use any specific third party application. I mean, that vendor based application, like in Checkpoint, we use a client application. So right, so and then in ASA we use a ASDM application, dedicated application that you need to install in your management PC. From your management PC, through that application only we will access, right? The similar way in Palo Alto we don't have any specific vendor specific application, but we can access the GUI through HTTP web-based console, HTTPS. Okay, through HTTPS we can able to access the console, and as HTTP also will be supported. Okay, this is non-secure console access. It is a secure console access. Okay, right. So this management dedicated management interface, it's pre-configured with this services, guys. So these services are called administrative services. So this administrative services by default acceptable on your management interface. Okay. So when you connect your Palo Alto firewall with your management a management PC with your Palo Alto firewall management interface, then if you have a reachability between management interface to a management PC, then you are obviously able to access the console through CLI or GUI. So by CLI, you need an application which support the SSH or Telnet. Through that the SSH protocol, Telnet protocol, we can able to access. And GUI we can able to access through HTTPS. But in a by default, it's a firewall product, right? It's a firewall product. So this firewall product by default will not accept the non-secure protocol access for the admin access, console access. Okay. So by default, this dedicated management interface configured to accept only SSH for the CLI console access, which is secure protocol, right? And only HTTPS to access the GUI console access, which is secure console access for the GUI graphical user interface, right? So, and then if I connect my Palo Alto firewall management PC and my management interface of my Palo Alto firewall through Ethernet port, so I need to verify it. Do I have a reachability between my management PC and my Palo Alto firewall? So I need to how can I come to know that whether I have a reachability or not? By initiating a ping traffic, ICMP traffic, right? So that interface must be support the ping as well. So that's why ping services also enabled on this management interface, dedicated management interface. This is common for VM based firewall and hardware based firewall. There is no difference on that. Dedicated management interface, administrative services, acceptable administrative services. Okay. So these are all the administrative service. This is the network service. Ping service is called network service. Okay. So administrative services to help you to access the console as an administrator. If now we want to access the console of Palo Alto firewall, so without traditional consoling method, right? Without traditional consoling method, we want to directly connect with our management PC with the Ethernet Ethernet console through Ethernet port, and we can directly access the console through SSH or HTTPS. Okay, so by default, that dedicated management interface is coming with the default configuration. So these are all the default configuration. And how can I check the reachability? I need to know what is my management interface IP as well, right? So I need to know my management interface IP as well. So if it is a hardware firewall, okay, if it is a hardware firewall, so that might be any type of hardware model, that dedicated management interface is configured with, right? So IP 192.168.1.1/24 network. Okay, this is the default management network on your Palo Alto hardware. And this interface is enabled with administrative services for GUI, HTTPS, and CLI SSH for network service ping to check the network reachability. So these are all the called administrative services, and this is the default management interface IP, which is coming with your dedicated Palo Alto firewall management interface, guys. Okay. So now, as soon as so this is for hardware based model. What if VM based model? We are using a VM based model here in our lab setup. We are using a VM based, right? So in VM, I so I don't have by default this VM is not configured as a static IP. It is not configured with the static IP. It is configured as a DHCP client. So in terms of IP address for VM, this is for hardware based firewall. Okay, VM based firewall by default it is configured as a this management interface is configured as a DHCP client. So in your production network, if you are running in a virtual environment, your Palo Alto, if you want to deploy it in your production network, you obviously are going to have one DHCP server, so that server will provide the IP address. Or if you are deploying in a cloud, the cloud environment will provide you the IP for that VM, Palo Alto VM. So you can able to come to know that what is the IP address of your VM from the cloud console, right? Or you can when you click the VM in your environment, if you're using a virtualization environment, so your EXSA operating system through EXSA or your own, other virtualization operating system, you're using it for a virtualization purpose, then in that virtualization you are going to run this VM. While run this VM, you can able to see that VM itself, the VM console, right? So VM console itself, it will show you the IP. What is the IP of your Palo Alto firewall in the above of the console itself? But right now, this is not your Palo Alto IP. This is your VM, my PNet operating system IP, not Palo Alto IP. Okay. So now I can. This is a in my lab setup, right? So in this scenario, in my lab setup, I have connected with my physical LAN subnet, right? So my base, I have connected with my physical PC as a my management PC, right? So my physical PC is connected with 192.168.1.0/24 network. Okay, so I have one wireless home router right now. So that router is connected with this network. So that router is act like a gateway 1.1, right? So this router itself, I have a DHCP server. So which means my management PC is connected with this network, and this network I have one DHCP server. So my management PC is connected with this network, right? I have my Palo Alto firewall is connected with this management PC network, right? So which means right now my management network and my physical LAN network is same. Okay, so my Palo Alto is part of my physical LAN subnet. So in my physical LAN subnet, so in this virtual environment, my physical LAN subnet is my management subnet right now, management network. So in this environment, I have one DHCP server. So this VM will get the IP address from the DHCP server. Okay. So how to verify that? So now I can go to in this tool, I can access the console, my Palo Alto firewall console, right? So by double click on the device itself. Okay. So this type of console is called a native console, which is nothing. How we will connect our Cisco router switches, right? Through console port. We have a dedicated port called console, right? This one. So when you double click in this tool, when you double click on that particular device, that will be connected, that will be open the console like this. You are connecting with your native console type, and the native console are opening through your PC. Now, like that, the same method in this virtual tool it is following, but in a real-time scenario, real hardware, what we will do, we will just connect our rollover cable or console cable with this port, and that console port another end, we will connect with our PC. Then we will use the terminal applications, terminal applications to access the console, right? So console, and then it will open the console and directly it will ask you to log in into the console. How we will connect the Cisco router switches. The same way it is following when you use a console, and that is not necessary for us because we are that in when the Cisco router switches are not configured with a dedicated management interface. So we have to access the console like that. After configure telnet, SSH and all, then we can go with that manage after configure the management interface, management network and all, we can go with that dedicated management network, right? If not, I mean, but very first time we will go with the console itself, right? Native console itself, right? But Palo Alto, it's not like that. It is one of the finest device, and it's a advanced device as well, right? So next generation firewall. So it is supporting directly connect. We have a dedicated management interface which directly support the console access through Ethernet console, right? And which is coming with a pre-configured IP address and then pre-configuration of enabling with the administrative service ping by default, ping, SSH, and HTTPS. These three services are enabled, already enabled. If not enabled, then we have to go with the native console type. But this is a hardware or this is VM. In this dedicated management interface is already pre-configured. So we directly connect with the management port. We no need to connect with the native console, traditional consoling type methodology. We no need to use it, guys. Okay. So why? Because it's already configured with the management interface. We have a pre-configured management interface. Okay, so the difference between the VM model and hardware model will access the console. VM model configured as a DHCP client, so you will get the IP address from the DHCP server. But hardware model, it's already have a predefined IP address 192.168.1.1. So when you access the console after knowing the IP address, right? So now what I'm going to do, let me verify the IP address of my Palo Alto firewall. And you can see that I got IP address from DHCP server, which is 192.168.0.6, right? So sorry, I wrongly said my physical LAN subnet is 192.168.1.0, right? So not that. Actually, that is my previous network I used. New my physical LAN subnet is 192.168.1.0, sorry, 0.0/24 network. So 0.1 is my gateway and as well as my DHCP server. So that is giving 0.6 IP address to me right now. Okay, so I can verify in my base machine also. Go to command line and you can see wireless LAN and IP schema 192.168.0.3 and gateway is 0.1. And now for my Palo Alto, I got 192.168.0.6. So from this PC, if I call through telnet, sorry, through SSH console, if I call this IP address, I'm able to access my Palo Alto firewall console directly for CLI console. If I through HTTPS, if I call my console, my Palo Alto firewall this IP, I can able to access the GUI console of my Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so let me show you the console. HTTP. If I'm trying with the HTTP, let me try with the HTTP. Okay, without giving any protocol, I'm going to give like IP address 192.168.0.6. Okay, and it's taken with HTTPS. So let me add HTTP only. Okay, so I'll not going to get any access. Why? What is the reason? It's because HTTP is not acceptable right now on my management interface. Okay, HTTP is not acceptable on my management interface. So let me ping first. I'm not getting the console, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check, I'm going to ping the reachability. I'm going to verify the reachability. So 192.168.0.6. If ping is acceptable on my management interface, then I'll get the reply. Yes, I'll get a reply. But when I'm trying with the HTTP protocol, I'm not able to get the access. The same IP now I'm going to try with the HTTPS protocol. Let's see what will happen. See, I'm getting some response and go advance and proceed because it is SSL protocol. So it's SSL certificate issue. So that's fine. So now we are able to get the Palo Alto console, right? So it is asking me to log in, right? It is asking me to log in. So I told you, right, it is coming with a pre-configured IP address on that management interface and pre-configured with, administrative services with that management interface. The same way, it is a firewall product, right? So you can't able to log in. Yeah, anyone can't as a without having any restriction. We can't allow everyone, right? So we had a restrictions. We need a restrictions. So we so by default, Palo Alto have admin user account, default admin user account. So that default admin user account only can able to log in with Palo Alto firewall until unless it is a fresh Palo Alto firewall. If suppose it's already configured, there is a multiple admin user account, then other admin users also can able to log in with their credential. But fresh Palo Alto firewall, you can't directly access. There is a default again, the admin privileges are there, admin user accounts are there, that is pre-configured already. So so the default admin user account username is admin, and this is common for VM based firewall and as well as hardware based firewall. Okay, password is again admin. All are smaller case, it's a case sensitive, guys. Admin. If it is a hardware based firewall, the console you can able to access through 192.168.1.1 IP by calling either HTTPS for GUI console and SSH for CLI console. Okay, and if it is a VM, IP configured as a DHCP client, so you have to verify your IP. Okay, right? And then the once you got the IP, when you access the console again, it will be you need to be authenticate. So username is same. Username is admin, password is admin, and the same VM firewall also configured with the dedicated management interface, and that interface is as accept the ping service for the network reachability checking, accept the SSH service for CLI console access, and accept the HTTPS services for GUI console access. Okay, so these are all the default configuration when you're getting a fresh Palo Alto firewall, guys. Okay, so when you get a fresh Palo Alto firewall, so now from the same management PC, I can access my Palo Alto firewall CLI through SSH console. In my management PC, I have a PuTTY application which support the SSH console, the SSH protocol, right? So through PuTTY application, I'm going to initiate the telnet and SSH protocol both. First, I'm going to initiate the telnet services. Okay, so this application has to be installed in your management PC or not only PuTTY. So in a market, a lot of applications are there which support the telnet and SSH protocol. Then you can use that kind of application and you can select the protocol, which protocol you are going to use to access the CLI. So now I'm going to test with the telnet. Okay, so the telnet service 192.168.0.6 is my management interface IP of my Palo Alto firewall. I want to verify once again. Yes, I got from DHCP server. That's the IP. And then make sure I'm going to use Telnet protocol. Under other, I'm using Telnet protocol and I'm trying to connect. Okay, so will I able to access the console? When I access the HTTP, it's not provide the console, right, for the GUI. And after access the HTTPS, then it's provide the console, right? The similar way, now we tried with the telnet, which is non-secure protocol, which is by default not acceptable on your Palo Alto management interface. So we are not going to get any response. The same PC from the same application, now I'm going to initiate new session with the SSH protocol, okay, and the same management IP 192.168.0.6. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the appearance to you to see to show you deeply, and I'm going to give different colors. Okay, so now you can see that I'm getting some response. So I'm going to accept, and you can see that it is asking me to log in. So what it is asking me to log in by my default credential, admin user credential. So this is a firewall. It will not allow you to anyone barely to access the console. So it has to authenticate the right user only can able to access the console. There is an inbuilt admin user account. So default admin user account that is called admin, and then password is admin. Okay. Now you can see now it is forcing me to change the password, guys. Okay, so which means I have successfully accessed my Palo Alto firewall. So now I'm going to give new password. When you type new password, you will not able to see anything what you are trying to type. Okay, and sorry, actually I have to give old password. Now I given a new password, so again it is going to give you the error. Okay, because I have given a wrong old password, so that's why it is terminating the connection. So now I have to reinitiate again. 168.0.6, and then I'm going to give, okay. So username is admin and password also admin because we are not yet changed. Okay, now it is asking me to give a old password to change. So old password also admin. Now only I'm giving a new password, and it should match the password length criteria, guys. So it should minimum 8 character you should provide. If not, it will not accept the password change. And then you will not able to access the console. Okay, now you can see that I'm getting I'm logged in with my Palo Alto CLI console, and then as an admin user, this is my host name. PAVM is the host name, which is nothing Palo Alto VM. Okay, so I have taken a console of my Palo Alto firewall through CLI with the SSH protocol, and now I am into the Palo Alto VM CLI, guys. Okay, so before explore the GUI, so that is very much easy that we can easily understand when you see the GUI, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the introduction to the Palo Alto CLI console. Okay. So in you guys are familiar with the Cisco product or Juniper product, right? So you already have some knowledge on this CLI access and all. In Cisco, if you are trying, just a minute, just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay. In Cisco, if you are seeing in Cisco CLI console, if you are seeing this symbol, what is that console, guys? What is the mode of that console, or what is the privilege you are? What is the privilege you are getting in that? So in Cisco devices, we have different kind of privileges, right? User mode, global configuration mode, like that. Configuration mode and global configuration mode, and then interface mode. Like that, we have a different kind of mode with a different kind of privileges, access level, right? So when you enter into the user mode, you have a list, you have a restricted, you can able to execute the limited commands, like you can do show commands, you can verify, you execute the verify commands, ping trace route, like that kind of thing. If you want to configure something on your sorry, on your Cisco devices, right? So interface configuration, routing configuration, that and all, you have to come into the configuration mode or global configuration mode, and interface you need to configure into the interface mode, right? So some of the each mode have some restrictions and some limited features, right? The similarly in Palo Alto CLI also we have a different kind of mode. Okay, so first one is operational mode. To make you understand simply, I'm giving this hint, a read only mode. So if you want to do any configuration changes, right? If you want to do any configuration changes through Palo Alto CLI, you won't able to do in this mode because it is fully read only mode, which means where you can execute show commands. So if you want to know what is the management interface of my Palo Alto firewall, what is the data interface enabled of my Palo Alto firewall, what is the policy I have, right? So what like that, show commands and test command. So if you want to verify whether do you have any security policy, that policies are working or not, so this test command, so test security policy, test NAT policy, like that test command you have. Okay, and as well as ping network services related commands. So like ping trace route. So type of commands you can able to execute in this operational mode. So all the commands are not used for configure. It's used for verify the configuration, which is already to read your existing configurations or test your existing configuration, right? So that's why I mentioned it is a read-only privilege. So here, if you want to do any configuration changes like interface assigning, changing the IP address, enabling the administrative services, or disabling the different kind of administrative services, that and all not possible here. Okay. So then if I want to do some configuration changes, where I can do, then we have another mode that is called configure configuration mode. So Palo Alto CLI only have two type of mode. One is the operation mode, another one is the configuration mode. So operation mode will allow you to execute the read only commands. So read only privileges only it has, but our configuration mode, it has read write privileges both. Okay, so which means if you want to do any changes on your Palo Alto firewall, like if you are going to create a new policy, if you're going to create a new object, if you're going to create a new services, if you're going to enable new any data interfaces, if you're going to disable any data interfaces, if you're going to configure routing protocols, anything, that you can do it only on this configuration mode. Okay, so it has a read write option. Clear? So now I want to know what is my management interface IP. So the command I can give it on which mode, guys. So now I want to know what is the management interface IP. So that command I have to execute on the operation mode or I have to execute on the configuration mode. So here I want to read the existing configuration. So which means that I have to execute in the operational mode. So let me go back to head into the operation mode. So I'm in the operation mode only. So what I'm going to verify my management interface IP, and we are going to, right now we know that is configured as a DHCP client and that IP we got as a DHCP assignment. So now I want to change statically. Okay. So first of all, I want to know what is my management interface. So use a command called show interface management. So interface management is the command to verify your management interface IP schemas. So 192.168.0.6 and slash 24 subnet mask gateway 192.168.0.4. I also have one more command to verify my management interface details. Okay. So but the status of your interface, everything you can able to come to know this from this command only. So interface management is the command exactly to verify your management interface. But here it is not showing what type of IP assignment on your management interface, whether it is a static method or whether it is a DHCP server, DHCP client, right? So it's not showing that full details you can able to come to know that by using this command. So system info is the command to verify your Palo. Additionally, some more details with your management interface like IP address, what is the IP assignment method, that and all you can able to come to know that, guys. And you can see that 190.168.1.0.6 IP slash 24 subnet mask, and that is a gateway. And you can see IP assignment, it is a DHCP IP assignment, right? So now I want to, right, so today I'm going to give you the overview only, guys. So right, so further commands, details and all we will see in the live sessions. Okay, so now I want to change, I want to do some configuration changes. So do I able to do this configuration changes in the right now in this mode? So right now I'm in a operation mode, so can I able to do configuration changes on the operation mode? It's not possible because operation mode will allow you to read the configuration. It will not allow you to configure it. So you need to enter into the advanced mode called configuration mode. So let me execute this. Let me try to configure the interface IP set device config. Okay. So see, I'm not able to get any help to complete my current command. So why? Because set means I'm doing some configuration changes. So if I give any show commands, then I can able to come, I'll get the help from the command line. I can able to complete the commands. So interface, like I'm just typing in in and you can see that I'm able to get the help. I can able to complete the next keyword in the upcoming command. So interface management, right? I just type M and then I type tab. So similarly in Cisco device, Cisco iOS will use a tab key to complete the upcoming commands, right? So the next keywords, the similar way here you can get the tab help. Okay, so you can complete the next, I mean the keyword of the that particular commands. Okay, but now I can able to get this help from the show commands. For the show commands, what about I'm going to do some configure set device. You can see that when I type tab, I'm not able to get any help. I need to type it. So device. So why? Because set is the keyword. It is defining you're going to do some configuration changes. So that set commands will not any configuration changes will not be possible in the operation mode. You need to enter into the configuration mode. So to enter into the configuration mode, you have to use the keyword called configure. Okay, keyword called configure. Enter, and you can see that we are enter into the configuration mode, guys. Okay, so right now we have entered into the configuration mode, and you can see that the greater than symbol changed to hash symbol. So the greater than symbol denotes you are in the operational mode, and hash symbol denotes you are in the configuration mode. Okay, clear? So now I want to do some changes on my Palo Alto firewall management interface IP assignment. I want to do that IP assignment. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to do some changes. So if you're going to do some changes, you have to use the keyword set. And after that, if you want to know, so the keyword. If you want to know the help, what is the next command I can use. So after set, if you give a question mark, you will get the help. So IP address you can assign, and then application group. You can do lot of things by using a set keyword, right? So now I'm going to do again under more. It's not listing fully, but that's fine. So set under set here you can see device anywhere else. Yes, device config. So your device config means you are going to do configuration changes on your Palo Alto firewall device wise, which means management plane. You are going to do some changes on your management plane. We have a two type of while doing a while learning a Palo Alto architecture, we are going to talk about management plane and data plane. So data plane is take care of the user initiated traffic. Management plane will take care of the admin initiated traffic. Okay, so administration device management initiated traffic. So that and all we'll discuss in later. Right now, if it is a device wise configuration you are doing as an administrator, you have to use the keyword device config. So which means we are doing some changes on the management plane. Device config, we are going to do changes on our firewall device wise. So inside the device config, if you give a question mark, so what you are going to do? So I'm going to do system wise. System means your management plane. Okay, we are going to configure your management interface and management plane related. So management interface related configuration we are going to do it. Set device config system, and under system what you can do. So under system I can able to do a lot of things. So I can able to assign the IP address, I can able to assign the net mask, I can able to assign the gateway, I can able to assign the DNS servers, I can able to assign the services like administrative services, I can able to change the administrative services and all, right? So a lot of things I can able to do. Right now I'm going to assign the IP address. Okay, so right now I'm going to assign the IP address. So now I can use the IP as a keyword directly, and then IPv4 I'm going to assign. So just give IP address and define your IP address now. But now, okay, that I'll tell you later. So now I'm going to assign the IP address, right? So what is the IP? I know my management PC have a 192.168.0.0/24 network, and I'm going to give 0.100 IP for this Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so let me give 192.168.0.100, and then subnet mask we have to provide. Okay, so use the keyword. I can just hit enter to complete this command. Okay, it will take it. So it will take only for the IP address. But we are not defining what is the subnet mask of this network, what is the gateway of this network, what is the default gateway for our management interface, what is the DNS servers IP for our management network, that and all we are not defining, right? So if you want, you can define separately that and all, set device config system IP address, and then we have to assign the subnet mask. So set device config system. Net mask is the keyword to assign the subnet mask, or everything you can configure under single separately like this. So you can define the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay, and you can see it is not giving any error, it is accepting that. And I can also assign the gateway. So I set device config system default gateway and give your default gateway. 192.168.0.1 is the default gateway. You can see that I have given IP separately, I have given subnet mask separately, I have given gateway separately. Actually, all this I can give it in the single command itself. Similarly, I can assign the DNS server as well. Set device config system server, sorry, DNS settings, servers. So under DNS settings, what type of server? DNS primary or DNS secondary? So primary server, DNS servers, primary, and I'm going to give global DNS server right now, 8.8.8.8, and then sorry. And secondary, if I want, I can just mention secondary like that, or I can give that command also separately. Okay. Set device config system settings server secondary. and 4.2.2.2 I'm going to give. Or okay. And so we have assigned the IP address separately, we have assigned the subnet mask separately, and we have assigned the gateway separately, and we have assigned the DNS server separately, right? So we can assign all this command, all these things in a single command as well. So let me show you that. Okay, set device config. Again, device wise, we are doing some configuration changes. Under device, what we are going to do? System management plane. System IP address. Under management plane, I am going to assign the IP address. IP address 192.168.0.100, and net mask, subnet mask we have to provide. You can't give a slash value and all. So you have to use the keyword net mask and define the net mask 255.255.255.0, and then default gateway. So use keyword default gateway and give your default gateway here. And then likewise, DNS settings, servers, primary, and you can give 8.8.8.8, and secondary 4.2.2.2. So previously, all these commands all be given separately, almost four times, four send IP separately, gateway separately, netmask separately, and then DNS server settings separately. Four times we have execute the same command for the different purpose with the different keywords. Individually, we have given. All this now I given as a single command. You can see that it is not giving any error. It is also accepted. Okay. So now, will that IP has been changed? Yes. So the change, whatever the changes we did, that will be updated. That will be reflect on our Palo Alto firewall management interface. Any idea? Will it reflect? Okay. So how to verify that? We have to verify that command, right? So now, we need to verify the IP assignment of our management interface. So what is the command? So interface management is the command. See, I'm not getting any help. Why? Because show command, show interface. This command, what I am going to execute, that is a which mode? That is a read only mode command. So that is the operational mode command. So right now I'm in a which mode? I'm in a advanced mode, which is called a configuration mode. So operation mode command can't be able to execute in the configuration mode. I mean configuration mode, and configuration mode command can't be executed in the operation mode, right? But in a operation mode, it's not an advanced mode. It is a read-only privilege. But configuration mode, it's an advanced mode. I can able to do read and write. So it is possible in Cisco. We'll execute the user mode commands in the global configuration mode or configuration mode by using the keyword in front of the commands. We'll use a keyword called do. The similar way, the operation mode commands can be executable in the configuration mode by using a keyword called run. Run. So system, you can see I'm getting the help now. System info is the command to verify your management interface IP, right? Or run so interface management. I management is the command to verify your management interface IP. Now, will it change, guys? We assign 190.168.1 sorry 0.100, but here it shows 190.168.0.6 itself. Again, it shows the old IP. It is not changing. What is the reason, guys? Okay, there are two reasons here. Okay, first reason, we are when you're doing a changes in Palo Alto firewall, it's not like a Cisco devices. So Palo Alto Cisco devices, when you're doing a configuration changes, it will be automatically updated in your running configuration. So right, so to move on into the permanent configuration, you need to manually save it. But Palo Alto, it's not like that. Whatever the changes you are doing, that will not be reflected in a running configuration automatically. So running configuration only, it's the permanent configuration here in Palo Alto. So about the configuration files and configuration file managements, that we will discuss in the upcoming sessions. But here, whatever the changes you did, that changes if you want to take in action in a real time, right? So you need to save the changes, commit. Okay, this is the reason number one. Okay, actually, this is the reason number two. So whatever the changes you did, that you have to manually save it, then only that will be reflected in your Palo Alto firewall running configuration. So your Palo Alto firewall take a decision based on the running configuration only. And running configuration is the always permanent configuration here in Palo Alto firewall. We have a one more configuration, temporary configuration type, so which is called uh, candidate configuration. So that and all we will discuss in upcoming session. So now I have committed, right? See, 100% is completed. Now I have committed successfully. So now it has to update, right? So let me verify that. Run source system interface. Again, it is not updated. What is the reason? It's why, because what is our IP ascent mode? So to know that, you need to use the another command to verify that. Run source system info command will give you the clear ideas. System info. Okay. And it is showing that IP assign mode still it's a DHCP. We just try to change the IP address, but we are not saying that IP assign mode is a static. We leave it as it is a DHCP. So we need to change the mode of IP assignment as well. Then only whatever the changes you did, that is updated already, but it is not reflecting. Why? Because this configuration says DHCP should be your management IP, DHCP client. Okay, that's why it is not reflecting. So now what we have to do, we have to change the IP assignment mode. So again, to change your IP assignment mode means we are doing some configuration changes. So that you have to do it on the configuration mode. Set device config. Device wise, we are doing configuration changes on the management plane system. Under system, what you are going to do? I'm going to assign the IPs changes. So type, you have to use called type, and you have to say what is the IP assignment method. So static or DHCP. So now it is already in a DHCP, so I need to make it as a static method. Just do commit. I mean, the changes has been updated, but this changes also need to be committed. Then only it will be reflected. Okay, so just commit, and once it is committed, now it's only if it is successfully committed, this console will be closed. Why? Because we taken a console from the IP 192.168.0.6, but we changed the IP address. So IP has been updated to 192.168.0.100. So the terminal will be automatically closed because there is no such a IP. After that, your Palo Alto is lying under 192.168.0.100. Sorry guys, can you hear me now? Okay, guys. So now the IP has been successfully changed. So now that's why we are not, I mean, commit is done 100 percentage. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to verify that. So to verify that, you can just go to direct console to show you here. Okay. So just double click on your direct native console type, and you can see still it says that 0.6, right? But it is changed. And user keyword for, I mean, the command user login is admin, username, password as we have changed. That password you have to provide. And now you can see that, I mean, I'm going to verify that. So interface management is the command to verify my management IP. And what is the IP it shows? It shows changed IP, not 0.6. It shows 0.100, and that is changed by the as a static method, right? So to verify that, so system info, okay, and you can see the IP assignment method static. Clear? So now if I'm going to take IP has been changed. So my management PC now it has to ping with a proper management IP. So now go to my management PC and take a console, initiate new session, take a console of your Palo Alto firewall CLI through SSH and use your updated IP 192.168.0.100. Okay, and then change the font. And you can see that we are getting some response and it is asking me to log in. So username is admin, password is new password. And now I'm in a Palo Alto firewall console and verify your management interface IP. So interface management. Okay. 190.168.0.100. Clear. So IP has been changed successfully, right? So now the same way I have changed the IP address. Now I want to verify what is my by default I said right. So there are default configuration. So by default it will accept the administrative services one on your management interface, only SSH for CLI console and HTTPS for GUI console and ping for the network services, right? So and that how can I verify that? So you can use the command to verify means we are reading that configuration that means you can execute that command from operational mode. So use a keyword called so system on my management interface. Okay, so system right services. So system services is the command to verify what are all the administrative services are acceptable on your management interface right now. Okay, see HTTP is disabled. HTTP is enabled for GUI access, Telnet is disabled, and SSH is enabled on the CLI access, and ping it is enabled for the network services. Okay, so how to enable this active, how to enable or disable this system services, that and all we will see in upcoming session because we are already running out of time. So now I just want to give you the quick walkthrough about the quick console as well. So within next five minutes. Okay, so activating the administrative services through CLI, that and all we will see in our upcoming session, guys. Okay, so today, as of now, what we just learned what is the if you are getting a fresh Palo Alto firewall, what is the default settings or configuration you will have, and how to connect your Palo Alto firewall with your management PC. Then after connect, we just enter into the CLI and we went we got a quick walkthrough about the CLI modes. So what is operational mode, what we can execute, and what is configure mode, what we can do in that configure mode, and with a few comments we just did it right. So everything we will see in our upcoming sessions. We will discuss a few more commands and necessary commands, how to debug, how to verify the policy and that and all we will see in a CLI. Okay, so and how to enable the administrative services, how to configure the policies, how to enable the objects, everything we'll see in our upcoming session, guys. Okay, so now these are the things we did in CLI, right? So that we are going to explore in a GUI. So in a GUI, you will see a lot of options. What are the menu we have, how to when you want to enable data interface, where we have to go, that and all. I'll give you the quick walkthrough now and just log in with a Palo Alto. So we have changed the IP address, right? So we need to use new IP address. So HTTPS 192.168.0.100. Okay. And advance and proceed. Username is admin. Password is new password. So just give me a 10 minutes, guys. First 5 minutes, I'll give you the walkthrough. Then I'm of GUI. Then I'll I'll give you about the live session information. Then we wind up the session, guys. Okay. So Yes, this is your Palo Alto GUI console. In a we have a different kind of menus. So when we execute the source system info, so this is the information we'll get in that CLI. Okay. And about this dashboard, what is logged in admin details, what is the data log, system logs, that and all. I'll give you the, I'll tell you whatever the changes you are doing, configuration you did, that information it will show you in under the dashboard, right? Who did that changes, when did that changes, that and all it will show you. By using this information, you can able to come to know that if you are allow multiple administrators to access your Palo Alto firewall. Who did the changes? When did the changes? That and all you can able to come to know that by using the config log. And the same way, how many administrators are logged in right now in your Palo Alto firewall through which console, that you can able to come to know that. Okay, by using admin logged in admin information in your dashboard. So likewise, we have a lot of things inside the dashboard, so that we will discuss on upcoming session, guys. Okay. And dashboard, ACC dashboard will give you the information about your current status of your operating system, and then admin login information, and then configuration changes, right? So that and all it will give you an interface status, high availability status, that and all as a quick output, as a digital output. It will show you in this dashboard. You can read that information easily. Okay, so overview of your product, your network flow, that you can able to see in this dashboard. And ACC monitor, these menus are help you to uh, for the monitoring purpose. It will help you, and it will give you the information like any new type of attacks, any virus or malware is identified. So when it is identified, maximum in you can able to get to know the some statistics like last 1 hour, last 16 days, what are the applications you have widely used, what are the threads you have in your network is identified, what which users are using right now in your production, which application they used. So that statistic information will give you the this is used for monitoring and logging purpose. So auditing purpose. Okay, these menus are used for monitoring purpose, ACC and monitor. Okay, so monitor will help you the live session information, and then logs, you can verify the logs here. Okay, under policy menu, I'll give you the detailed walkthrough in our live session, guys. Due to time concern, I'm just going a quick walkthrough. Okay, so policy menu here only you're going to create your security policy, NAT policy, authentication policy, right? So SD-WAN policies. So that and all you're going to implement here. Okay, and objects. So if you want to create any IP address or service as object, right? So if you want to create any next generation firewall features such as URL filter, file blocking, data leakage. So that and all you are going to create under objects only. Okay. So right now if you are not aware what is object, that you obviously you are going, if you're new to Palo Alto, you're not going to aware about the objects. So that I'll tell you in the live session, guys. Okay. So under network menu here, you can able to configure your data interfaces, and then routing related configurations, and then VPN related configurations. That and all you are going to configure VPN, VLAN, interface configuration, zone configuration, that and all you are going to configure under network menu. So device menu will help you to manage your Palo Alto firewall. As an administrator, if you are going to take a backup, then you are going to configure through, you're going to take a backup on the device menu. If you're going to configure the redundancy protocol, that you are going to configure under high device menu through high availability. If you are going to configure or allow other administrator, create a new administrator account, and then allow other administrator to log in, then you are going to do it from here. Okay. And if you're going to integrate your Palo Alto firewall with any third-party services, servers like LDAP server, Radius server, Taka server, right? So that and all you are going to integrate through device menu only, guys. Okay, which is used for device management. Okay, your Palo Alto device management purpose. This is not going to take care the in this menu. You are not going to configure anything which is related to the user initiated traffic. This is related to the management plane, your device management activities. Okay, so the commit will help you to save the changes. Okay, and other information I'll give you in the like this is the lock which will allow you to take this lock and the multiple Palo Alto will allow simultaneously as multiple administrator can log in and configure. So to avoid that conflicts, you can take this lock. So that and that. we'll discuss in the upcoming session, guys. Okay. So like now I want to verify my we in CLI mode we just configure the data, sorry, management interface, right? So I want to know where I can able to see my management interface. So net under network you can see only data interfaces, not your management interface. So device only which is related to the management plane menu, go to device, setup, go to operations, sorry, interface, and go to management. This is the management interface, and you can see what is the IP gateway, what is the administrative management services are enabled for GUI and CLI, and what is the network services are enabled, right? By default, if you want to enable or disable in GUI, it is very easy. You can just deselect or you can select it. That it's easy to do that. Okay. So if you want to change the IP static to DHCP client, then you can just click here, or you can change any other IP, you can do it here. Okay, it is very easy. So that's why very first I'm not showing this. So through CLI, you can able to do the same thing in a different method, right? So along with you guys are know what are the modes or CLI. You guys are get the quick walkthrough about the CLI consoles in Palo Alto and CLI modes in Palo Alto. So as of now, when you are trying as an administrator, when you are trying to access your Palo Alto firewall very first time, you have to follow these steps, guys. And this is not an initial configuration. It just we access the console under initial configuration. So you need to get some other information like what is the deployment mode you're going to use in your real-time production network, how many users are there, and what are the segments you have, and you have to collect all those things, and you have to register your product in the tag, Palo Alto tag. You need to upgrade the licenses, update the licenses, and you need to configure the changes, whatever the information you have collected, the needs you have collected from the clients, and then you have based on that you have to update the configuration. Then you have to test that in the test environment, and after test that and testing, if everything is fine, then only finally you have to deploy into the live production network, guys. Okay, clear. So in a real-time scenario in an organization, these kind of tools, the virtualization simulation tools, they will use before deploy their own physical devices into the on-premises network and I mean on in a live production network, they will use this kind of setup to simulate and test. Once everything is fine, then only they will go with the real-time implementation, guys. Okay, so by knowing these tools, it will give you the added advantage. Okay, they will use a VMware EXSA operating system, or they will use the EVNG or PNet devices. So nowadays, the organization preferring these kind of EVNG and PNet kind of tools as well. Okay, so it is going to give you the additional value to you as well to know this too. Okay, clear. So any doubts regarding this session, guys? Today's session, as of now. No. Okay. So I don't said no. Others, guys. So if you want to talk to me, you can just raise your hand. I'll unmute you and I'll give you the access. And before that, uh, so your batch is going to start on coming Wednesday, guys. So 19th, which is going to start with Palo Alto firewall as a first firewall. Okay. So actual cost for this firewall program, each and individual firewall is around 10,000. And you guys are going to, if you're going to learn individually, you're going to pay around 25 to 30,000 minimum. Okay, but here and we give a special offer those who join the demo here. Okay, those who enrolled for the demo already registered for the demo, right? So if you guys want to join this program, you will get a super awesome offer. So you can join all this fire. You are going to pay only one firewall, so which is you are going to pay for Palo Alto, and additionally Checkpoint and Fortigate also you will get in this course. So which means you are going to pay 10,000 rupees, and you will get other two firewalls also free of cost. Okay, so which is included. All these three firewalls are included in this package. Okay, clear. So which is going to start on coming 19th November, which is Wednesday, and the same schedule evening 8:30 to 9:30 batch, 9:30 time. Okay, so if you have any queries, like for a lab, we will give you the virtual lab tools, softwares, applications, whichever you need, and I will teach you how to do that in your own device. And then lab manuals will be provided, documents will be provided, and daily session recorded video will be provided. You can, yes, recorded video will be provided. You that will be uploaded in our LMS portal. We will give you the account to access our LMS portal, that you can able to access for next 2 years, that recorded videos. Okay, so for your reference, and then documents, everything will be provided in our application itself, so you can access anywhere else. So, and you can also access through mobile application as well. Okay, so anything else, guys? Any queries? Yeah, just a minute, Kaushik. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, Kaushik.
Yeah, sir. Mm, for this virtual environment, sir, is it this AVNG is good enough or VMware also required for that?
No, VMware works inside the EVNG only. We are going to install the VMware workstation. So VMware, sorry, even inside the EVNG VMware workstation, inside
Sorry.
the VMware workstation only, we are going to install the EVNG.
Okay. Then we need going to install this images, na? In
Yes, image.
AVNG.
We need to upload the images. So no worries. Don't worry about your lab setups and all. Okay, I'll guide you. I'll take a separate session in your live session itself, so you can come to know each and everything. Okay, so the tools and softwares, images, everything I will provide you for whichever you need for your lab access. So that I will provide you.
Okay, okay, sir. So any other process with this without this in AVNG tool? No.
So without EVNG tool, you can access through, if you have a well server kind of devices, you can directly install the EXSA operating system. So there you can install the lab. So if you're familiar with the VMware product, VMware services, so then you can go with that too as well. Okay. Or if you're familiar with the cloud environment, you can create your own lab in a cloud itself. Okay, or you can
No
access
cloud.
our lab. You can access our lab. So our lab also, it's a virtual environment only. The similar how I'm going to teach you to set up your in your own laptop or desktop. The same way we are following here. So you can, if you want, you can access our lab. So that lab you can able to access per 2 hours per session per week. You can able to access maximum for 2 sessions. So which means per week 4 hours you can able to access as a two different sessions. Okay, so that is based on the availability timing. It's available based on the available timing only, you can able to access lab. But if when you have your own lab setup, you can access whenever you want.
Yeah, that's true. How can I access those labs, sir? Any software is there, so remote
i'll
software is there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that access. I'll give you from my side. Okay, so you need you through any connect application, we can you can access our lab.
Okay, means okay, okay. Cisco VPN is there.
Yes, so that
And,
that that for yes we have. Or you without any VPN, you through remote access application also you can access it. So that I'll let you know once you enter into the program. That I'll let you know, because that the IP frequently changed. So I'll let you know that. No worries.
okay.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah, sir. This is any other question.
Yeah, please. If you have any, if you want to talk to me, please contact this number. I'll share in your chat box. Okay. Okay, so and we are going to have only 10 seats for this batch, and we are always taking limited seats only, limited batch only. So okay, so only 10 seats only available. So once the 10 seats are filled, this offer will not be available anymore. Okay, and we will close the admission process once the 10 seats are filled. Okay, so the admission process will be opened from tomorrow, and as soon as 10 seats are filled, we will be closed. So there is no specific timeline to close the admission process. Okay, so because it is a limited batch, limited seats, so once the 10 seats are filled, you can directly, we'll directly close the admission process, guys. Okay, the batch is going to start on 19th November, with coming Wednesday. Okay, so batch is going to start on 19th November. Any idea, any other queries, guys? So far everything is okay, right? And I'll send you the recorded videos and then this fee structure, course curriculum documents. I already shared through your WhatsApp and mail. Okay, those who registered, and if you are not get, so again after the session, and tomorrow morning I will share you the other details as well for in your WhatsApp, guys. Okay, and I'll send you the information like admission process is open. Okay, and as I said, it will be closed once the 10 seats are filled. Only limited seats. We are not taking anything, any more seats beyond 10 seats. Okay. Thank you, guys. Hope you you get a better experience today. So we will hope you guys will meet. We will meet in the live session, guys. Take care. Happy weekend. Bye bye. Take care. Weekly Monday to Friday session. It is a weekdays per session. We don't have a weekend session. So Monday to Friday, 5 sessions we are having it. Logeshwara. Logikar. Sorry. It's a weekdays batch. Okay. I'll share you the schedule as well in your WhatsApp. Thank you, Arun. Thank you so much for your valuable feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Take care. Have a happy weekend, guys. Bye bye. Take care.